Would everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for an invitation? Pledge of Allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Dear guys, we gather this evening. This council thanks you for the privilege that we have to serve this community. We ask for your strength, courage, and wisdom. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Amen. You got minutes and stuff, and you got the stuff that needs to be signed. Yes, you got the minutes also. Yeah. It's all right. Members of the council, call to order the March 5th meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from our previous meeting. I need a motion to either amend or approve the minutes.
Motion to approve minutes as
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Kurt? Great, Josh. 5-0. Under unfinished business, obviously our boards, we tried to fill them up. We still have some vacancies. The one on the planning commission, no one has put in for that. So if you're out there, it has to be a non-Democrat appointment to it. It is a bipartisan board, and we do have 2 Democrats already serving on that. One board that we have available is the Morgan County Economic Development Executive Board. This past year, that was filled by myself and Shane Williams. The board, the composure of that board is set up by one is a council appointment and the other is the executive appointment. We did receive one of our applications for Mark Mathis. Mark served on the very first Economic Development Corporation Board back when we merged the two, the county and the town of Mooresville. He does have a very good understanding and knowledge of the Morgan County economic development scene as we know it. I am going to appoint him as the executive of this board to that committee. The only other thing that we would need is if the council so chooses to have me continue to serve on it, I would like to be appointed to it. If not, I will step aside and let anyone who wants to do it.
I'll make the motion to Tom serve on the Morgan County EDC.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Josh Kirk. Fine. Surveillance bids and access control, or surveillance and access control bids. Jewel, would you want to touch on this?
Yeah, so just for the record, as we talk about the surveillance and access control bids, they came in as sealed bids. This is not a time to have new presentations to go over what is there. This is an opportunity for the council to ask certain questions to the bidders. We don't expect to have a new presentation, an argument as to why we may be the lowest responsible and responsive bidder. We have those numbers, we have those calculations. And so we're not expecting a prolonged discussion here, but the council had some questions that they wanted to raise with some of the bidders.
I think what we looked at, the committee to set out the request for proposals, the request for quotes. They did an outstanding job. But what we did find was when things came back, they didn't match as well. When we say, hey, we're going to pave 5,280 feet of road, it's pretty simple that we need a mile worth of blacktop. In this case here, people see it as different, which ways they're going to go. The prices did come in fairly close through the first four, and then from there they kind of jumped up quite a bit. the committee came back in and they had their recommendations of who they wanted, who they thought was the best for the job. We are spending taxpayer dollars. We have to make sure that if we don't accept the lowest bid, we have to have a extremely good reason to meet those merits of why we didn't choose the lowest responsive bid. I think one of the astronauts once said, as they sat in an Apollo capsule, that we're sitting in a rocket that was made by the lowest bidder. It doesn't mean we're going to get the best, but it does mean that we have to go by these rules. In talking to some of the bidders, the question came about, everyone is using kind of a different approach to the software. Three of the bidders, I think I got that right. 3 of the bidders are using one specific brand, and the rest of them are kind of going out in a different direction. In researching it myself, I kind of found that the one brand that the 3 companies are using, there's some questions on what happens 3 years from now. What happens? Everything is a licensed software, and the bids did include, if the spec sheet was drawn up right, or the summary was drawn up right, include a 3-year contract or a 3-year licensing. And then after that, looking at Verkada's website, it appeared that there could have been as much as $500 per camera and maybe $300 and some per access door for another 3-year contract. And when we asked, we wanted to make sure that we had clarity on that. The question also came up as to the specifications of the hardware. Is the hardware specific to the software? Is it brand specific or captive to that software? In other words, if we choose in 3 years to try to go with another brand, or another software, would we be in a position to have to replace all of the hardware? And those are some of the questions that I had, and I'm sure the rest of the council probably had similar questions. I think what we'll do is we'll kind of start and come across and then ask those questions if anyone has anything more specific, and then we'll give you an opportunity to answer those. Jeffrey, did you have anything?
No.
Kurt? Josh?
You nailed it. I mean, those are the questions I had.
Jeffrey?
Yeah.
Greg? Sorry. Hey, Jeff, where you down there?
Pretty much the same questions about maybe the life of the equipment and whether it's going to be compatible with what's, like say the software, things like that.
I guess the question for someone that is using the Verkada, is the equipment married to it, or is it brand specific to the software?
I think in all cases, I think in all cases there's software and there's a product itself. The cameras themselves, they do have our TSP stream, so afterwards, if you do not like Verkada, you still reuse all the Verkada cameras. When it comes to access control, most systems out there, in the end, if you want to change your access control, you're going to have to change the panels. You can reuse the readers, you can reuse your hardware, you can reuse your wiring. In all cases, you have to change the panels. Just like in this case, we have to change the panels to get it onto Verkada. We can reuse the readers, we can reuse everything else. The panels have to be changed.
Is it a single panel?
Correct, yeah.
Just one single control panel for
in the IDF, yeah. One per door is how it connects in. One thing also to explain, on the licensing, trying to explain the differences to you, is we sell both. I sell on-prem, I sell cloud, I sell, all options. And there's benefits to both. When we met with Phil, we met with the different, what they gave us and what their pain points were. That's why we led with the cloud version. Mostly because nobody's taking care of your current systems. A lot of it is outdated. The firmware is not updated. nobody's taking that initiative to keep those updated. And when they're not updated, that's when you're susceptible to hacks and different things. So when it's on the cloud system, all the updates, everything's done automatically. So it takes it all away from you. All the updates are done automatically. So one less thing that everybody has to worry about. The other benefit was getting all the benefits. If you pay the one price, you get all the analytics, you get everything. Also, any updates that are coming out, you get them automatically. There's no additional charges on anything like that. And then the other one that we discussed was warranty. Verkada product all comes with a 10-year warranty. All cameras, all panels, everything's 10 years. All your other ones are going to be 3 to 5.
And yours specifically was a 3-year licensing on the initial purchase? Is that
Yes, correct.
Okay. And when you said panels, are you talking about, when you said on each, is it panel for each door? Is that the?
Yeah, how it works is you'll have one big panel on the wall, no matter what system you use, and then how many are in there is how many doors are coming into there. You'll have inside that box.
Got each control for each board.
Yes, so each one comes in and ties it in.
Right.
Then the cameras that you're using may not be the same as the cameras that someone else is using.
Correct.
As far as if they're using the Verkada, are they using the same cameras or could they be using a different?
Could be using a different one, because how your specification wrote was there was limitations. What we specified is what we met with Phil and all the different departments, and you know what their pain points were, what the coverage they wanted, and that's what we assumed would get that coverage that we want to get.
Okay. Now, in reading on the Verkada, the camera itself would store the video there for a period of time, and then it sends it to the cloud?
So the video is always be stored on the camera. So the other benefit to that is you're getting the 24/7 recording. So all your other systems are going to record low frame rate until there's motion, then it goes up high. So there's things that could be missed. That's because you have servers that are trying to keep that information. What the camera's doing, it's 24/7 and it's 30 frames a second. So there's no jumping, none of that. But yeah, all it's stored on the camera right now is for 30 days. And then you have unlimited storage to the cloud. So once you pull the footage and send it to the cloud, it's there forever until you want to delete it. But every camera has full 30 days, 24/7 for 30 days.
And that cloud storage, the cost of that cloud storage, is that built in or?
It's all built, there's no cost for the cloud storage. You can have as much footage in the cloud as you want. So you can save a clip every day for 365.
Do we pick the clip or does it just automatically upload?
You
all?
pick. You would say, I need this footage, and you send it up.
So it doesn't automatically just.
The only time it would automatically send it is if there was like so they have a trigger built into them. So if it was starting to get vandalized, it automatically sends the last 10 minutes straight to the cloud. That way you can see what happened to the camera if it got vandalized. That's the only time it's automatic.
As far as vandalized, what,
Like if somebody wants to hit
somebody
it or
gets
somebody.
too close to it?
No, if somebody tried to hit it or tried to take it down,
Okay.
that's when it would trigger that.
But the Verkada system, and if there's anyone else here that's using that system in their quotes, I want to make sure that they agree 100%. That Verkada system, it's going to store it in that camera. We have to tell it. So if at 45 days we say, we thought a car may have parked back there that day, it's gone.
That's correct. I mean, you can get more days if that's what you want, more days. But if you want 60 days, you can get 60-day cameras. That's going to get you 60 days. Same scenario if you were doing servers. To record 24/7 for that amount of time, you're going to need $500,000 in servers to cover that much storage. So, I mean, most of the time, people suffice that 30 days is usually their window of if there's something happening, usually they'll know in that 30 days. Very rarely do we do more than 30. Only time we do is when there's jails and stuff involved, and it's 6 months. Thank you.
Do we have someone here from Security Pros? I'm just going to be blunt and honest with you here on looking at these proposals. I'm assuming that everything is going to be pretty much the same. We got similar numbers of doors and similar numbers of cameras, but then when we look at the annual service agreement, there's a drastic difference between you and someone else. Yours is higher.
Yes.
Could you kind of elaborate to us why we would expect that?
Yeah, there are some differences. One is that our storage, we actually quoted a storage at 60 days of cloud storage, which increased the cost. Now that is not.
Now wait a minute, cloud storage.
So the video, when video is recorded on the camera, it's uploaded in real time to the cloud and stored in the cloud with 60 days of storage, in addition to having redundant backup on the camera in the form of SD cards. So your video is sent to the cloud for a period of 60 days to be stored. In the event of a clip that needs to be retrieved, we have unlimited clip storage, so clips can be pulled and stored remotely as well. That number, our increased cost for the monthly recurring is based on the 60 days of storage. If we go to a 30-day storage or to a 45-day storage, if we could, that number would be lower.
The annual cost.
Correct.
Okay.
The other thing that our services agreement, that also includes our real-time monitoring of cameras. So, and access control. So if a system were to go down, if a camera were to malfunction, if a door were to become inoperable, we would get real-time notification of that, with the goal being that we don't want the customer to be calling us for service. We want to be proactively reaching out to the customer saying, hey, we noticed that this camera here in the council room is down. We've got technicians scheduled for dispatch to come out and service that camera under warranty. That is included in our annual services cost. Another key differentiating point, we are not requiring the city of Mooresville to enter into any contract. Our number is no contract. We will guarantee the pricing for 3 years, but under no contract.
Any questions for him?
Did you say that was real time?
Correct. As video occurs and as events occur, so the same thing. A motion or a low res, we call it motion plus low res as well, of an event. Somebody walks in front of a camera. That's an event. That is uploaded to the cloud in real time. And in the event of internet failure, again, our cameras have storage built in as well. So you're still getting that, even if the internet connection to allow the video to upload to the cloud may be broken, that video is still being stored on the camera, and when that connection is restored, that internet connection, the data that is cached would then upload to the cloud.
What were you saying that if a camera quits working, you're notified?
We get alerting through software that's included in our package and that's included in the service cost.
Doors and cameras.
Correct.
And we would call you when we see a camera down?
No, it's the same thing, it's all included on cloud. So everything's set up ahead of time. Ricotta would notify you and we'd get notified at the same time. Anytime there's any issues, that's the benefit of cloud, is we can get notified when there's issues instead of, if it's on-prem, then it's relying on you guys to let us know, because we don't have access to your system. The benefits to cloud, then it notifies us directly because we have access to it.
Same with your cameras in your warranty?
We would provide a 5-year warranty.
Okay. Thank you.
You're just curious, on the annual service, I know you said if you went to 30 days, how much you talking?
I would need to run the exact numbers, but it would be in the thousands of dollars per year cheaper. And we have the flexibility to switch on demand. So one of the hallmarks of our system is that flexibility. We have customers that have a similar solution that have said, you know what, we want to have 60 days of storage. And then after evaluation, they've said, you know what, we really don't need 60, we can actually go to 30. We've
said, okay, that's great, we'll go ahead and make the change and then lower your cost to accommodate them. I mean, I'm a taxpayer, I want my taxpayer dollars being used for the customer's needs.
Okay. Do we have someone here from Midwest?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, paving is a lot easier. The question I have for you is you've heard that 30-day storage, 60-day storage, automatically, they're notified. Is that the same with you?
Yes, we're quoting the exact same product that these guys are.
30 days,
Yes.
and we decide what we want loaded to the cloud at the end of that 30 days. Is that right?
Correct.
Is that what
I mean,
you- he's saying his goes automatic. You're saying
Yeah,
we
you,
pick
still,
it.
you get the low frequency, so low quality. Low quality is always going to be there in case you need it, but the high quality doesn't happen until it's requested or there's an event. You can set up different events. You could set up technically every day from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. to upload the whole last day. I mean, you can set up however you want. If you want that footage up there every day, you can set it up in your off hours. I mean, there's all kinds of different ways to set it up. It's just a preference on how you want it to work and what's most important to you.
Your annual service cost is substantially lower. Are you still comfortable? There is a note on there that it was received a little later than the quote.
Yes.
But it's
Still, we stand by it, yes.
okay. And your equipment, how long is the warranty on it?
The equipment is the same as, it's the Vercada equipment, so it's a 10-year warranty on it.
Okay.
Same as everything on all the Vercada systems.
And again, just like theirs, we decide we want to go with a different software or with servers, we can still use your hardware. We have to change the panels, but we can still use your hardware.
Right, the hardware would still be able to be used with the exception of panels and cameras.
And cameras.
Yeah, that's different than like.
No, so the cameras can still be
They have
used
RTS.
to another, it would be an RTSP stream
I'm
and
sorry,
another
yeah, I
software.
did speak that wrong, I forgot about that. I'm glad Vercada's here to tell me that.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
The hardware can be used again on any of it, so yes.
Do we have anyone here from Corson? Thank you. Hello. Talking to these guys, it seems like Vercada's the way to go. Are you using a software and a cloud-based system also?
No, we're doing a standalone server using Hanwha Wave. We looked at the cost of ownership over 7 to 8 years with, a hosted video access system. You're probably looking at $750,000 to $1 million. You could replace the system that we quoted 3 or 4 times before you actually get the value out of that system. I quoted Mercury-based access control, which is about 92% of access control companies use Mercury boards. Or if you decided you wanted to change software in 3 years, you can just flash those Mercury boards. You do not have to change the hardware at all. So it's yours. The cameras work with probably about 95 to 98% of video surveillance systems out there natively. RTSP, I get what they're saying. You can use RTSP, but what software are you going to put back on those cameras when they unlock them? The other thing too is RTSP, you do not get the full functionality that you would get with a camera when you're buying it natively or using it natively. So ours, you can use it natively, comes with AI. You own the cameras, get a 7-year warranty with our system, 5 years with the servers, and it's on site. So if there's an issue with servers, they come on site.
Well, the comment was made that if we were going to try to do that, we would have to have a server that was pretty expensive to hold all that information.
Actually, I've got 2 servers quoted in it, and I think I'm somewhere in the ballpark, or I
Okay.
wouldn't be here.
Okay, and you think there's adequate storage to have your
We
your
did
7 years?
20% increase, so we did a 20% increase on the servers per year. So if you added basically 20% of your cameras, then you would still have enough storage for the next 3 years. And you can also add drives to the servers that we quoted. So if you decide to add cameras, we can always add, I think, up to 8 more 12 terabyte hard drives.
Well, are we back into a situation where we would have to know that we would see that our, they have the ability to tell us when our cameras aren't working? Do you have that ability also?
Yeah, you can actually set up feeds that will send either emails or, obviously you guys have a dispatch too. So that dispatch, I'm assuming, is 24/7 at PD. So they can also get those notifications. You can get pop-ups, like if someone's in the park, the AI can notify them, let them know, hey, someone's in the park, it's after hours. Then let them know if a vehicle's back there. You can set up email notifications to anybody that you want, really, as long as you're IT.
But that's all built into that price?
Yep.
And we're currently under contract with an IT company that is taking care of all of our, hopefully addressing the comments that were made. If we put your servers in here now, do we have, the last thing I want to get into is having you saying, okay, we're going to put that server in there, now our IT company has to take care of it, and then you blaming them for anything that goes wrong.
No, all of that's included in the service contract we provide, and we'll support the access and video system.
So we won't have, because our IT company charges by seat or by server, and that's all on you.
Yeah, well, they're gonna have to facilitate anybody here with IP addresses,
Yeah.
so, or, network ports to go out, so you're gonna have that regardless. And that's the only thing we would need from them is that support with IP connectivity.
Similar.
No IP addresses, we just plug in.
Well, you still have to have a way to plug into the network to have an internet connection to get out, so one way or another, it's gotta touch your network. So the ports still have to be opened up to hit the internet regardless.
And again, 7-year on the cameras, 5-year on the server.
Yep.
That's all we have for right now. Is there anyone here from Tailored Systems? Anyone here from CMD Business Solutions? Anyone here from Burnco Integration?
Hello, everyone.
Hello. Again, I'm not mincing words with any of them. I'm not going to mince it with you. You're twice the price.
I figured we were.
But, I guess my question is it something that we're missing, or do you, it's the same number of cameras, same number of doors. Is there something that you feel like we're missing as far as the way we go about this? Or is your equipment maybe a little more expensive, or?
The equipment itself may be more expensive. The software through Genetec is designed for communities. It's what it's built for. If you go out and look at many of the major cities, and Verkada and the other companies are going to be able to say this as well, but what we believe and what we found is that Mooresville, the community of Mooresville, is progressing very rapidly, and I think we believe that you need to build a platform that's not going to just get you through. We believe you need to build a platform that's going to grow. We believe we've done that. We've anticipated some of the needs that are coming, and we felt like the system between the access cameras and the Genetec platform will provide you the opportunity to not only get everything that you want to get right now, but allow you to grow in the future. And that was key for us. And it made us more expensive. And we knew it was going to make us more expensive, and we bid it anyway because we feel it's the right product. We feel it's the right thing. And consequently, even though we're not the lowest, even though we're twice as expensive, some of that is product cost and some of it is software cost. And utilizing that software and integrating it between your access control doors and your camera systems is going to be vital for what you guys are trying to do in the future. And we believe that that future starts now. That's why we did it the way we did it. We could have bid it a lot lower, but we wanted to provide what we believe was the proper service. Now that doesn't mean that the other systems aren't good or aren't great. I just don't believe they solved the problem. We didn't believe they solved the problem going forward.
Well, you said it was Genetech?
Genetech.
And is that Genetech, is that going to be a licensed software also?
It will be.
So we would see, assuming this has, at the price, maybe 1,000 years of software licensing? No. But
we could only wish.
Is this like 3 years or?
We set it up based on everything we did revolves around 5 years. So that includes the warranties, that includes everything. One of the reasons we didn't try to push for additional warranty is technology is changing so rapidly. And you're gonna find that everybody's gonna update, and they're gonna update software and firmware and all of these things to make your cameras better, less hackable, less destroyable, all those kinds of things. But I don't know about the value of a 10-year warranty, because I think you're going to change your hardware before then, because technology is going to change. Now, if you're not going to ever change your hardware for 10 years, then it's a great thing to have that warranty, because they'll come out and put a new camera in every time it goes bad. I'm sure that their warranty is rock solid, so is Axis, so is Genetech, so is Burnco's. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for your time.
Just a quick comment. When it comes to Verkada's warranty, let's say you purchase this year's model, and in 5 or 6 years that camera failed, and we try to troubleshoot it, we couldn't get it back up online, and we need to replace it, and the model is not available anymore. You just get the newer model at this point.
It just goes to the upgrade.
Goes to the upgraded model.
Okay.
And also, every single camera comes with 30 days of local storage and 30 days of cloud backup. So you technically get 60 days absolutely free. And once you download it or save that footage, you'll live in the cloud forever at this point. But I mean, nobody really, you don't need to pay extra for cloud storage in order to have access to that footage. You'll be able to find that footage within that initial first 60 days, and once you save it, it's just in the cloud. So you're not paying extra for any cloud storage or SD cards or anything like that. I mean, now you compare it also to servers. Yeah, servers are great, but you have one server go out, now all your cameras have no storage, and it's not recording. Yeah, also servers only record on motion.
Okay, I think we had a discussion earlier.
Sorry about that.
Right,
Yeah,
we're not
anybody
doing
needs
pitches
to-
again. We're answering the questions of the council.
Yeah, absolutely.
Are there any other questions for anyone? I know that I got some more information that I want to follow up on. I appreciate everyone coming in and trying to educate us. Fisher Price it for us, I guess. Gentlemen, would you like to table this for later discussion? May I have a motion for that?
Motion is tabled for the next meeting.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Great, Josh. Gentlemen, lady, thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
If you want to step out, we're going to get real excited and talk about other stuff.
Okay, have a good night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Council.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Resolution 3/2024. I think it would have been easier to get Mike Dellinger into the NFL than it is to get him into CERTA. This is more of, you know, what we're doing is we're trying to chase any types of revenues, whether they're state or federal. This puts Mike in a position to be privy to any and all opportunities, and this is more of saying, yes, we do want to participate. Am I missing anything?
No. I mean, essentially what CERTA is you've got this region around Indianapolis. I think it was Fishers that started it, and they're controlling it. And in order to be considered for some of the funding that's going to be coming out from IEDC and those majors, you need to be a part of one of these regional groups. Mooresville's regional group is based on Fishers and it's a CERTA. And so, if you want an opportunity, but it just seems
I thought it was already taken care of. I didn't know we were still.
No, apparently there's a little more to it, and like I said, I don't know whether it's this much paperwork or it's Mike's pedigree that's working against us.
This is the resolution that accompanies the ordinance that you approved last year. So that's part of the requirement for CERTA. It is a complementary resolution.
Further questions from Mike? Motion?
Motion to approve resolution 3/2024.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Jeff Kirk, 5-0.
Thank you all very much.
Next item is merging of the Spillman Police Records, Chief Buckner. And Josh Messner.
And Josh Messner. Thanks for your time on this. We've had several meetings. Basically, we're trying to do something that should have been done years ago. The county has Spillman, Mooresville has Spillman, but we can't see each other's records. And so what we're trying to do is just merge our records together so the officers can have more information on the people that they're dealing with. It's an officer safety issue. We'll be able to access each other's CADs. So if we, oftentimes we'll get a 911 call that's supposed to go to the county, so we'll have to call down there and say, hey, you have this. They'll be able to type it up and it'll be on their CAD. So it's going to be good for the county as well. It's going to broaden our criminal intelligence that we have on people that the county and Martinsville deal with. They can come into Mooresville and vice versa. Basically unifies the law enforcement in the county. With less than 100 officers for this side of the county, it's important that we all work together. And the county has graciously offered to pay for this. The only thing we have to pay for is the monthly fiber fee. Is that right? The fiber draw.
I was going to say, before we hadn't done it because there was not a fiber connection between here and there. Is there still not, or is there one now, or?
Yeah, PDS has given us a quote. It's dated now, but we're in the $2,500-ish range to put a fiber drop in.
So the line is in, we just got to tap into.
He has a network around here. He doesn't have far to get to you all. And he said the only reason there's an increase in cost is because mooring equipment has gotten more expensive.
It'll be a double redundancy for our records also, so we'll have backup in case we have a major catastrophe here and our dispatchers get wiped out. Our dispatchers can go up and get on the CAD and continue to work. So.
Now is that interfaces with the sheriff's office?
Yes, sheriff.
Is it like Martinsville and Monroe?
Yeah, sheriff, Martinsville, Brooklyn, Morgantown, all of them are on that system. We're the only ones on our own system. We're the
I think we talked about this before, and we were held up by just not having a direct path.
Well, the cost was, cost for, what do you have to pay for it?
I've got the quote, now, I was caught off guard. I thought we were going to ask for money, not give money, so apologize. It's about $26,000 that we're offering to pay. And this quote, I think, is good through April and May.
So we're trying to stay away from the word merge, we're just data sharing.
What is the monthly,
About $600, I believe.
a month that we're paying, or they're paying?
That we're paying. We split it up between the three.
You're talking about for the fiber cost?
Yeah.
It will be. You're not paying anything today because you don't have it today.
Right.
We pay $600. Johnson County pays $600. If you all join on, you'll also pay $600. That'll be your kind of equivalent share. We all are chipping in $600 to have direct fiber connection to the different agencies.
This will include Johnson County too, I think it's part of it.
I think Johnson County is the backup for.
We have a CAD link with Johnson County right now.
Share information with them.
Well, not only that, but I mean, anytime our SWAT team's activated, Johnson County is the backup SWAT team, so, you know, they have to, like, but right now, I have a feeling for the county one night, I couldn't even get on, they couldn't even put me out on a traffic stop or give me runs, because we're not on their CAD, we're on a whole separate system. But it's the same system, same kind of system.
And is that $7,200 a year, is that paid to PDS or is that paid to?
Yeah, PDS, not to us. And the other thing that you all get with this, you don't have geo base today. So if somebody puts in a bad address, you can send somebody to someplace that doesn't exist. We've already paid for those upgrades. That's something you get for free, essentially.
And that's fairly expensive. That's why we haven't done it. So, and then again, if our officers are out on an incident, we have GPS in the car to put them exactly where, you know, where they're at.
Do you have a rewards card with PBS?
No, I have a Speedway card. And Ollie's.
Ollie's on.
I'd like to add something if you'll let me. So, you know, I wasn't here when the old dispatch thing went down. There's been a lot of hard feelings, I think, all around. We still hear remnants of that. Can't change the past. You know, only thing we can do is be here for the future. You know, the easiest thing you can do is tell me no, and then we can go on about our business. If you say yes, then we've got some real logistical hurdles to work through. Make sure everybody's happy to get on the same system and it works right. But we're here because, you know, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. We're all part of the county, everybody. So we want to make sure that we have the best equipment we have for our officers. Everybody's got the best safety, and that's why we're here.
Questions, gentlemen?
I've got a couple here. One, I know this is gonna tie us in with the county. Will we be able to see Johnson counties too, you said? Since they're tied into yours, or no?
No, we have a CAD link because we share Mooresville Fire Department, they clear with Harrison Township. So we have a CAD link. Plus, we back data up to Johnson County, they back data for like the disaster recovery. And that's what that fiber link is. The CAD won't allow you to see each other live. All it does is allow us to pass a run to them, or they will pass a run out to us. That's all it allows us to do. It doesn't allow us to see their live data like this would allow us, everybody in the county. So when I was a sheriff's deputy, I would be able to see in my car the Mooresville calls, and if I was close, I could respond and back up. Same way with Mooresville, if they see a sheriff's deputy just outside of town, they'll be able to see he's out just outside of town, and if he's help, roll out there and do the heat.
Okay.
This gives us visibility, and
So right now, you guys can't see Johnson County?
No, we cannot see Johnson
Okay.
County, we just share data, move data back and forth,
Okay.
and when we, have a run in Mooresville, we put it in our CAD, and it automatically dumps into their CAD. Saves a phone call, and just speeds the process.
So, and this is all gonna be determined within our local agreement on what you can and can't see, or what you decide to share or don't share, or is it already set?
You guys, you will be part of our system, and it'll be basically your agency, Mooresville Police Department, will be just like Martinsville Police Department, Sheriff's Department, all the town marshals, they're all have in their own little partitions. And they decide what they wanna share and what they don't wanna share as far as, being able to see or print or delete, or we don't let anybody delete anybody else's records. Usually they can see each other's records. If it's something confidential, we'll allow them to, they can just password protect it, so.
That was gonna be my question.
So other people can't see.
Will the super user at your department be able to see a hidden password at Mooresville's?
Super users would be all the way across the system. You guys would have super users.
So our system and your system?
Yeah, well, currently, no, we can't see in your system, but once it's one big system, then any super user could technically, yes, do that. Now, it's all logged, and if they're doing it, then that's a problem, but we're very selective about who we allow to be super users.
Sure.
And if somebody does that, then they get a lot of explaining.
So if you've got a high profile case and you've password protected the case, and only super users see it, and you don't want another agency to see it, us,
Yeah.
how do you just, you can't, they can see it?
It's on a partition, it's been protected, and the only person that should be able to see that would be a super user if they.
What about a super user at Mooresville?
Super user at Mooresville.
Would be able to see it?
Could, yes, because they have super user powers, because that's something
Integrated.
for the entire system.
Right, okay.
Um,
Is there a way to protect that, if you do have a high profile case that you wanna protect, you know what I'm saying, or is there a way to do that? I mean,
I'm not aware that there is.
There's password protection.
There's password protection, so you would,
Officer.
yeah, for the
Only.
officer.
Oh, only?
Yeah.
Only.
Oh, okay,
You have
I
to
didn't
be
know the
officer
officer.
protected and partition to a password protected file that only they have access to.
Okay. Only that.
Only them.
I was gonna say, I didn't know if one per.
I don't know.
Okay, that answers that.
Gosh, is that fiber, is that $600 from us and $600 from you? Is that $1,200 a month that we're paying?
And 600 from Johnson. And the other thing that we're gonna be doing, we're moving towards, we went to a FedRAMP facility recently. So we have a scaled node system, which allows us to put servers in multiple locations. We're gonna be putting a server up in this federal protected facility so that we're geographically separated. If there's gonna be some kind of major event, it's in a hard facility away from us. And we have direct fiber connection through PDS to get up to that facility.
And
Is this 600 a month in your budget? You had that, or? No, probably not. Probably. That's all the questions I have, Tom.
Jeff, I'm counting on you to kind of understand this for us. I mean, what are your thoughts?
Pardon me?
What are your thoughts?
I think it's a great thing. I mean, the way it's told tonight, I think it's great. I don't see why not.
Be very beneficial. Like I said, we got too few police officers in Morgan County now to work together. We don't even have that many troopers in the county to assist us. We had one major incident would be okay, but if we had two, we were. As far as the state, I'd say troopers. They don't know. I think they're on their own system.
Yeah,
I don't know if they interface or not, or with anybody, or anybody. We're not gonna say that.
So do we have to contract with PDS, or are you gonna contract with them? How do
We would have Aaron touch base with you guys directly.
and then this part here, you're just paying it, Motorola. Comments, questions, or motions?
And this is something you're good with, Chief?
100%. Yeah.
I make the motion, we move forward with, sharing data with the county.
Jeff, you brought up an interlocal, so I'm just asking him.
Yeah.
I mean, we most likely will want something, because we had to sharing the costs that are there, but then I can set that kind of thing up.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, if you decide you wanna move forward, we're committed to working through that process. If we need to do an interlocal, we do an interlocal. We can all work through this together.
Okay, we have a motion on the floor. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made, and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Let's try to move forward.
Thank you, thank you guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Next time I come back, I will ask for money.
Good seeing you.
Jeff and Kurt. Hey, Don, did you want to say anything?
Yeah. You just opened up a can of worms for me. I've been in the meetings with these, well, I better come up here. First of all, thank you for listening and working together. And as Josh has mentioned, it's not always been a bed of roses. And I've never liked that. But what I would like to say, this is officer safety, it's people safety, it's better police work. And I had a lot of fun sitting down there, not knowing what they were talking about, but seeing where the direction was going. You've got terrific people with Stevie Ellsroth and Scott Hamilton. And the more, you know, that little song they sing in Sunday school, the more we get together, the better we're going to be. That's happening. And, you know, it should have happened, 12 years ago. We should have been doing some of this. It wasn't there, and it is now. And I'm glad to see it work together. And thank you. I have one more comment since I've got the floor, Tom.
I didn't really.
I know this isn't, you're just gonna have to put up with it. I wanna thank you for the sidewalks that have been put over on Morgan and Monroe and every place in there. I know there's a few issues there, and you're gonna get those lined out. But I couldn't help, most of you guys probably didn't know Becky Harden too well. I spent a lot of time just listening to her. She was a fly on the ointment. But it would be, if there's ever an opportunity and you have a little extra coin you want to put out there, put a little sign that says Becky Harden Way, that'd be great. Because she was a hot dog about getting sidewalks, and it makes it real safe. And I really appreciate what you've done here too. So that's from
Was that
county.
Becky's bid?
Pardon?
Becky's bid?
Oh yeah, Becky's bid.
Becky's bid. Yeah.
She was one of a kind. But thank you. I enjoyed the meeting. I'll come up here more often just to see how you guys get along. Come on down and see us. Glad to see you there too. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tom.
But Don, for the record, back 18, 19 years ago, we did offer to have central dispatch right up here in Mooresville, so you'll know.
There's a lot of good things that happen moving forward.
Next item on the agenda, Dave Moore. DPW fleet discussion. I think you got all kinds of stuff.
So I'm here this evening to approach the council and seek your thoughts, concern, approval, possibly about adding new trucks to the public works fleet. I sent you all an email earlier this week with the price sheets on what we would like to purchase. And these would go through the state QPA purchasing system. We can use these trucks for a variety of things, from full leak backs to everyday street maintenance, all concrete. We have two pickups. I stated in the email that we'd like to phase out. They're One is pretty dangerous, it likes to jump in and out of gear. The other one, the bed's falling off of it.
And if you're listening for trade-in value, they're perfect.
I did ask for trade-in value, however, he was supposed to get that to me by the end of the day today, but our internet is down on maintenance or some reason. So I was not able to get the trade-in prices. Typically, I think we'd probably do better going through the municipal bid or selling them at a town auction. But we'll see what the trade-in offer is.
Do we have intentions to have a surplus this year? So,
I think the police department's working on some things. Park indicated that they may have some things. It's leaning toward that way, yeah. Haven't had a formal discussion about that, but we are gathering up some stuff. So,
What year are the trucks you're on to replace?
so one is a 01, the crew cab's an 01, and the F-150 is an 02.
Just getting broken.
Broke, leaky, and
I have a question, Dan. Will these trucks be at the street department, or are they gonna be for the department heads to use, or what's the plan there?
my initial intent was for two of them to be at the street department, and I was gonna drive one administratively.
So you'll be a nurse for them?
Correct.
You're 20 years old, it's time for, what year is yours?
17.
It's for everything.
It's the last time we bought a truck was that.
550 would just be it won't replace anything, it'll just be an add.
It'll be an addition to, we had really good luck pulling the leaf back with our other 550.
Yeah.
It's not, with the Kenworths and the tier 5 exhaust systems, that constant idle,
Yeah.
put a hard on. Can't use the truck.
What do these have, the 6.7?
I think let's see, on the 550. Yeah, 6.7 power stroke.
Going diesel?
Diesel on the 550. The two 350s, we upgraded the engines a little bit to a 7.3.
Yes.
Or
7.3 gas.
7.3 gas.
When will these be ready?
So if we get approval tonight, I'll place an order. It usually takes 4 to 5 months to send it to Ford, and they build the trucks as we specify. I did go through and check. Not really any creature comforts. We did just, we're gonna have factory installed strobes and running boards and mud flaps, things like that to preserve the trucks.
Is there anything we can do to help with the salt? I know it's rough on
It is. I can say that the guys at the street, they take really good care. They wash the trucks constantly.
They know if there's any extra undercoating we can do.
And we do, when we get them in, we have some stuff that we get from, something like it's an undercoating, and we do apply that the day we get them all in. We do take extra effort.
Yeah.
We preserve them that way.
It's not giving the Z-Bar 10-year respirator.
Well, working out in the body, but we do consider the frames.
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. You can put your truck into service. I never thought about that. But that'll be in service for the guys to use. You'll get a new truck. Will it be a crew cab where you can accommodate more than 3 people? Because I know we've ran into problems before where we went to a site and we've had to take 2 vehicles and we couldn't discuss. So will you have a crew cab where?
Yeah, these are all
full crew cab?
full crew cabs, full doors, yes.
Okay.
I did consider that when pricing these. I do have funds in the LRNS budget if you'd like to consider that. Trying to look here. Use what mic?
The email you sent, you said you felt comfortable using the balance out of your gas, oil, materials.
Gas, oil, materials, and machinery and equipment. Combine the two. I think that would leave me a remainder of 71,000.
Also got the building permit fund, what do we have in there, 500,000 or so?
Last I checked, last year, there was
That's an option.
500,000.
Comments, questions, motions?
I think it's a great idea to move forward. 2 trucks are 20 years old. And
Is that in the form of a motion?
yeah, I'll make the motion, we move forward, allow Dave to purchase 3 new vehicles.
With the funding that he proposed.
Yes.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh, Greg, 5-0. Now, that would have been nice. That was a big carry, and I'm not gonna do that. Do you have anything else?
I do have one additional item, that came to me today. I think I read on the internet that we're gonna have an eclipse here in 2 weeks.
Here?
Here in Mooresville. On the internet.
You sure?
That being said, they anticipate quite a few people here in town. I know Mooresville 200, they're gonna have some events for that weekend. So working with Regina Shelby, we probably need to order some portalets for the downtown area, possibly. I don't know how many people's gonna be here. It's hard to tell how many portalets we're gonna need. Our initial quote was $480, but I'm a conservative guy. Got sticking my neck out on the limb here. If we could get 30, possibly, I have quotes here. So this quote is for 30 total units, it'd be 26 just regular portlets, and then 2 handicap, and then 2 hand washing stations. I think Mooresville 200, correct? I think you can go 500 for this.
We received a donation to go towards the porta potties for $500, but as of right now, that's all we have.
And how many you guys getting?
If we go by this quote, we'll get 26 regular units, 2 handicap units, and then 2 hand washing stations.
this, they're only putting 500 toward this purchase.
Right, but are you guys still getting porta potties on top of this?
No.
So you put 26 is what we need?
So the original quote.
That was like 80 or something originally.
I thought it was
Right.
100.
Or 100.
But
Now
then
we're
I
at
was-
26, so that's why.
I just keep reducing in hopes that we can get some, because at this point it sounds better than none, and unfortunately the 200 just cannot afford to pay for anymore. I mean, even after the vendor's fees that we've collected, we're still $28,000 into this event.
How much do you have in your fund?
In this event.
No, in the whole fund. I know we had a meeting in there.
As of right now, we have $11,000, but that money is earmarked for other events this year.
And that's including what you're going to collect from the.
Correct. Before the vendor fees that we have collected for the Eclipse Festival, we're $33,000 into this. So take away our vendor fees, we're at just right over 28,000. So my original quote from them was for 150 units. That quote was $33,000. At the time, I had a quote from 2 other companies that no longer have porta potties available. B&R is the only company that still has them available, and that's only because they have continued to hold the original 150 units that I requested. Our last quote came down to 80 units, because I thought, okay, even if we can get some, it's better than none. That quote was $13,000. I called him today in a begging, pleading mess. Hey, I need something, and this is what he has offered. But this also includes them servicing them twice a day for the weekend.
This number 30, that was my uneducated estimate of what we would need. For comparison, Phil, I think, called Rudolph Music Center today. When they have a concert, you say they have 50?
They do 50, and their capacity limit is 25,000. So through and that's all of their parking, strategic locations within their complex, in addition to their actual built restroom facilities. Their hope is to narrow that down to the last couple seasons. They've done about 50 units for their whole summer concert series, but that's all their parking along that complex. So, and they just service it after the event. So.
I will also say the other quotes that I have gotten from the other companies beforehand, the unit range was 125 to 175. B&R's giving them to us for $70 a unit, which is a massive difference.
This says 90 a unit. On the new quote.
We did reduce the amount, so
Maybe they raised it when you went from 80 to 26.
Yeah, I think that's what it
correct.
was.
And that's my fault, I just didn't see that today.
So we think 30's.
To be honest,
it's a
I
guessing
don't,
game, I guess.
I don't think it's enough.
I don't know.
But
what we're
again,
gonna
I will
put-
take what I
we're
can
gonna
get at
put-
this point
I mean,
because we need porta potties.
We're gonna take some parking spaces up, or?
B&R Services, just for the council's information, they suggest that a portalette, a single portalette, can service 250 people using the restroom facilities. I'll let your imaginations go from there, but 250 people can use one portalette before it needs to be serviced. So that's just kind of the math, and that's straight from B&R Services, the quote they see for you. I've used this company. They're world class in their customer service and their systems that they offer. So
They will actually have a truck downtown with the units for the weekend so that they can be serviced and clean and make sure that we don't have overflows.
As far as locations, we're gonna have a meeting on the 7th, department head meeting, and we'll discuss the logistics of everything then.
originally we had discussed putting them in the parking lot over here. Just using the small parking lot on Main Street to house the sanitation.
We could put it off till May and then think that we should have done it in April.
We know how many we would have needed.
Hey, that's right.
Honestly, our plea here is that regardless if the 200 is doing an event or not, these people are coming. And my concern is that our in-town businesses are gonna get overloaded with people that just wanna use their bathrooms. And that's costing them additional money as well. So they're paying water, sewer, toilet paper, cleaning, all of those things.
Also put the burden on the town sewer also.
But a lot of them won't even let them use the restroom.
Right, so then we're gonna have people doing things in people's yards and such, and I just don't wanna see that happen.
If it's a dig at you, you know that, don't you?
Yeah. So did you talk to Dave about 30, you think? I mean, I know it's better than nothing, but.
No, that was only trying to be a little conservative. I still can't imagine all these people coming to Mooresville, but I'm probably gonna be wrong. I know we are the only community that's hosting events, for that weekend.
In Morgan County.
I think a lot of people are coming to see Tom.
I'm scared of the dark.
It's only 4 minutes.
$28,000, 4 minutes. How much is that a second?
A lot.
So you're gonna have your restroom open?
I'm gonna be hiding. We have the funding available somewhere, I'm sure. We just need to decide whether or not we want to do that.
I say we move forward and pay for the 30 units as quoted.
They will clean them
Twice a day.
Twice a day.
Mm-hmm. So they'll be delivered on Friday evening, once the streets are closed, and they'll clean them twice a day each day.
Okay, motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Order some outlets.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Josh Gray.
And I will take that heat if it's not. You're coming up with. You'll always be able to. You'll always be able. That's all I have. Thank you. Thanks.
Not anymore. David, was that all you had as far as department head?
That is all I have. Yes.
Any other department heads?
Just have a quick update for a project for the community, for the council. Old Town Park Playground has went underway. We have removed the old equipment. The staff are currently excavating the old debris of the mulch servicing that was there with the older unit. Our goal is to start installing at least some of the components potentially by the end of this week. The goal is the completion before the eclipse happens. The playground structure will actually be completed. Hopefully we can advance through a couple of other stages for Old Town Park, adding a walkway path from the parking spaces to the new restroom facility as well. But that's the current update that we have.
I got a pretty good chewing about that.
We have received several offers to purchase that merry-go-round and several offers, several opinions of put it back into place. So staff, we are working diligently on restructuring how we're installing the equipment. We are not removing the current footer for that merry-go-round. Our goal is to hopefully restore that playground to its old glory of the merry-go-round and reinstall it as a quote surprise for the community. So, but we'll see how things go. It may take longer to restore it, but our goal is to try to bring that back. So because of how many contacts, my phone blew up for that one. So we heard the community. So they honestly make systems like that very comparable, but newer systems of that older style of merry-go-round around $10,000 to the same scale of that unit. So our goal is to try to refurbish it to a lower cost.
I got blindsided with that one day.
Any other questions the council may have? Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
No report? Nothing from Kerry, nothing from Matt? Legal counsel?
Nothing to read at this time.
Public comments?
I just wanted to remind you guys all that we do have a public meeting for the eclipse again this coming Tuesday, so a week from today, at the auditorium at the high school. It's at 6:30. It'll be similar to the one that we had last time. I know many of you came last time. It's just to give people, again, in the community the information that, hey, this is coming and this is how you can be prepared for it. And we have some updates since last time. So I have flyers here for you guys if anybody wants one, to make sure that you know about it. That's all I have.
Any other public comments? Motion for approval of payment of claims.
Motion for approval claims in the amount of $1,253,875.29.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Motion to pay payroll clearing in the amount of $220,264.31.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0 on both of them. Town council comments. Jeffrey?
None.
Kurt?
None.
Josh?
None.
Greg?
None. Good. Thanks.
Next meeting date will be Tuesday, March 19th at 6:30. I need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Josh, Greg, 5-0.